Okay, so we are going to talk about organizing your images for your Elements and Principles project into the different folders. So if you're not on the field trip on Tuesday, this is what you're working on. And if you are here on Thursday, you'll work on this on Thursday. So you should have a big folder called Elements and Principles under your originals in your student network drive. Okay, so I pulled these off of somebody's computer. I don't know whose, but they're just for demonstration purposes right now. Okay, so I showed you guys how to do the first four. I'm going to make some new folders. So I'm going to go to File, New Folder. I'm going to call this one, so I have Line, Shape, Color, Texture. I need one for Symmetry. Okay. I need one for Asymmetry. Okay, I need one for Emphasis. And one for Pattern. Okay, so there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 folders total. Okay, so right now in my line, I don't have anything actually. So to refresh on how to do this, you are going to pick one topic right now. Okay, go through your images, give 5 stars to the image you think best represents line. Okay, so I can click here. I can hit the space bar on my keyboard and see the image in more detail. To me, this is not about line. Maybe it's about texture. Maybe it's about color. This could be about line. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command 5. Okay, I'm going to keep going forward. This could be about color or maybe emphasis. This could be about line. It could also be symmetry. Okay, so think about what you think, but for right now I'm going to do Command 5 for this one. That can also be line. Okay, and you can see the little 5 stars popping up. This I wouldn't rate because it's so out of focus. Okay, this might be about texture. Okay, so keep going through, finding the images. So this could be pattern, this could be line. Up to you, how you think it fits best. Okay, let's look for a couple more line pictures. That could be line too. So let's do this Command 5 for line. This I would say is line also. Could be shape. Okay, so let's say you went through all your pictures and you decided what's what. All right, so now I can go to my little star here and show only my 5 stars. So these are the ones that I want to rename and move into a folder. So I'm going to hit Shift and click at the bottom. So now all of the ones I just rated 5 stars that are my lines, I'm going to go to Tools, Batch Rename. Okay, so I'm going to move them. I'm not copying them. I'm going to move them to another folder. I'm going to hit Browse. I'm saving them into the line folder. Hit Open. Okay, so it's under my Elements and Principles project for line. I'm going to change the file name. So you should just have text and then current file name. So I'm going to change that to line and give it an underscore. And I want to maintain the original file name. So I'm going to have 2 sets of text here. Text, line, so I know which project it's for, which part of the assignment, and current file name. And just leave that alone. Make sure you put the underscore here, so there's an underscore between. So it's line and then the original file name. And then hit rename. And now those are gone. So I'm going to go back up to my star, clear filter. I'm going to go again now. I'm going to look for texture. I'm going to look for shape, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so on and so forth. So once you're done with that, pick a folder. Okay, so let's go with line. Right now I only have 5 images in here. I'm going to hit the space bar so I can see them full screen. And I'm going to pick the ones I think are the best that I want to put in my folder. So I think I'm going to go with this one for now, okay? So I am going to open this in Photoshop and begin editing it, okay? First thing you can do is crop. I might also straighten this. So I'll do 8 by 10, that's good. But I don't like that this is not straight. So I'll go off to the side, off to the corner, and rotate until those background lines are straighter. And I think that looks much better for this particular photograph. Okay? Maybe you don't like that. Maybe we want to put this X sort of off center. Maybe we want to accentuate the diagonals more, okay? So it's up to you what works for your image. Actually, I think I might like that better. So let's go with that, okay? So now we have these nice diagonals, all right? Now you can go over here to your adjustment layers. You can play with levels. Remember, this is called a histogram. Usually you want to bring your mountain, your black triangle over to where the mountain begins. See how it really makes those blacks or the darks a lot richer? And you can go here and get some of your whites a little bit brighter. And just doing that increases the contrast and it makes the image much more interesting. And you could play around with your middle until you get a look that you like, okay? You could adjust color balance if maybe you shot it and the color balance was a little bit off. If it looks too pink or too yellow or whatever. So if it's too yellowy, you could add some more blues to it. Okay. This image, though, I think is pretty good. So I'm not going to do anything with that. You could convert this to a black and white image. You could try the different preset filters that are already in here. You know, whatever you think looks good, whatever accentuates whatever you're doing, okay? Now, very important here. You're going to go to File, Save As, okay? You're not going to save it in your originals. You're going to now save it in your Works in Progress folder. I don't have a Works in Progress folder because I'm doing this in a demo folder here, so I'll go over here and I'll just create a Works in Progress folder. Actually, this needs to not be over here. Well, you get the picture. So if it's in your Works in Progress folder, and this was originally this, so this is the name for this one. So I'm going to leave the name as it is, but I'm going to make sure it's saved as a Photoshop document. And now it's in my Works in Progress folder. Okay, and then when you get to the next one, you would save it as texture. Okay, and that would be in your Works in Progress folder. You should have 14 images in there. So 2 line, 2 shape, 2 texture, 2 color, 1 symmetry, 1 asymmetry, 2 emphasis, and 2 pattern. Okay, thinking about rule of thirds for all of those. An overall good composition. Okay, so in Bridge, go through your folders or your images, deciding what's what. You know, something like this might be shape. That might be shape too, you know. If the pictures are really not great, like here's a finger in the corner of the picture and it looks a little bit out of focus, maybe you don't want to use those ones. Like this, I wouldn't use. So you don't have to sort that into a folder. You could actually make a folder of like rejects if you wanted to do that, okay? So start editing your best pictures, save those. Make sure you hit Save As and save them as a PSD in your Works in Progress folder, okay? So, do I have anything in here? Let's see. Okay, so I have some in color. So let's do one of those. Kind of like this one, okay? So I'm going to open this up in Photoshop. All right. You could crop it to an 8 by 10. I actually don't think I'm going to crop it. I think this is pretty good, okay? Again, levels. Bringing up those darks. Your whites are pretty good in this picture. Maybe you want to play with your middle tones, you know, until you get it to where you like it. Now, something like this, you might want to do a pop of color. So maybe you want to get all of the saturation of color completely out of the background. So you could go to black and white. Find a filter you like. Okay, maybe I like that one. And then again, using that masking tool, so this is your mask, the little white rectangle. I can click on my black, click on my brush tool, and I'm going to just do a simple brush. And I'll make it bigger using those bracket keys on my keyboard. And I'm actually going to soften up the edges a little bit. Okay, and now you can just reveal the color of just that leaf, and you're going to have to change what's going on with your brush a little bit. All right. But now you can reveal just the color of the leaf if you wanted to. Okay, and you would have to take your time and make sure you do this really, really, really carefully. So you're just including the leaf and nothing else. Okay, and then you could do this and decide, you know what, I don't really like it. Just turn it off, it goes back to normal. You could play around, maybe increase the saturation a little bit. Not too much, because then it's going to look like kind of weird and gross. Maybe you want to desaturate it. But if this one's about color, I'd probably keep the color a smidge more saturated. Okay, so now you have your layers. Again, File, Save As. Do not hit just save. You're saving this in your Works in Progress folder, which I hid under my line. Again, it's color, and it's saving as a PSD document. Once you have layers, it will default to a Photoshop document. Okay, so there you go. When you're done with your image, let's say I go back here, and I'm like, I love this. This is great. I'm going to get this uploaded to my website and all of that good stuff. You can, of course, add a new layer, add your signature, and remember the signature should be small and not obnoxious, and a color that will work with your image. Maybe I'll do like a, I don't know, that's probably not going to work. Let's just do black over here. Okay, simple. It doesn't distract from the image. Okay, now I'm going to hit File, Save As. It's by default in my Works in Progress folder because that's where it just was. I'm just going to add an underscore and then put Final here. So I know this is my final image and I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to hit Save. Then I'm going to go to Layer. I'm going to flatten it. Now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to go to File, Save As again. Okay, and now I'm going to save it as a JPEG. So again, you go down to Format, change it to JPEG. Okay, save. Hit OK. Okay, and you can also go File, Save As, and save it into your Final Projects folder. So you'd go back to your folder and go to Finals and save it. And now you know this is your line one, your line image, and it's the final version, and it's your JPEG. Once you have the 14 images for your portfolio there, you can upload them to Weebly. Okay, and then I will show you in a separate tutorial how to make your cover image. Okay, but this should give you guys enough work between Tuesday and Thursday to keep working on this. If it's nice out any other day this week, we can go out to the park to take more pictures. Okay, so have fun. If you have any questions, you can shoot me a text on Remind. You guys should have access to that. And and I should be able to get back to you shortly. Okay? So good luck, have fun, and make sure you organize your folders. Make sure you're renaming them once you put them into the folder. Okay, renaming is important because then you're going to lose track of which one it is for. Okay, and that is that.